Hurts the throw. It's picked off. It's Trayvon Diggs down the sideline. Nobody's going to catch him. House call.
That was ugly. That was real ugly. I wasn't expecting the Eagles to go into Dallas in front of that crowd on that night and win. But man, I wasn't expecting them to get beat up like that. Let's talk about it. Now, I said in the beginning of the year, this is a rebuild year for the Eagles. I was placing them at 4 or 5 wins, tops. I looked at the schedule and I said that they're probably going to win 5 games. Y'all called me crazy. They can win 8, they can win 9. Too many unknowns. You got a completely rookie coaching staff. You got Jalen Hurts really coming into his first season. You got a rookie wide receivers on both sides. I'm going to consider Jalen Reagor a rookie. I mean, he played a little bit last year. He was hurt most of last year. Too many variables. Speaking of rookies, though, let's pause there because I did a video and I said that the Eagles should have got Micah Parsons, that we didn't need a receiver, we needed a linebacker. And y'all called me crazy, but who was the standout Monday night during the Dallas and Eagles game? It was Micah Parsons. He was killing it. He was all over Jalen Hurts. They got him filling in for Dexter Lawrence on the defensive end. Dexter Lawrence is literally their best talent on that defense, and they trusted him enough to move him to the edge position, and he killed it. He was all over Jalen Hurts. He killed it last week. He's making that day one impact on the defense that the Eagles severely need, especially when you got a Tony Pollard and an Ezekiel Elliott gashing you for 8-9 yards at a time. I told y'all, there were a lot of wide receivers in the free agency. You could have picked somebody up in the second round. You didn't need to jump and get Devontae Smith. But I'll get back on target. Anyway, this game was over by halftime, and there's some cause for concern. This is the second game in a row where the Eagles didn't put up any offensive touchdowns in the first half. And it gets ugly against good defenses, and it gets ugly quick. I think we all discounted how good the Cowboys defense was going to be. We were focused on how crazy their offense is. But I'm telling you, man, if this is the way the Cowboys are going to play, Eagles fans, we're just going to have to hear the shit talking all year because it's not going to stop. Yeah, but again, no offensive score in the first half. And if not for a lucky, I'm not going to call it lucky, that was actually a really damn good play. If not for that strip sack in the first quarter, then the Eagles don't even get on the board. The game is even uglier. So the defense stood up where they could. But here's the deal. No matter how much talent you got on the defense, when your offense can't stay on the field, when you're giving up senseless penalties, I mean, the Eagles had, 5 penalties on defense for over 100 yards in the first half? The most penalized team in the league? You know, you got a combination of that. Yeah, your players are going to get tired. They're going to give up 12-yard runs. It doesn't help you when you turn a 3rd and 8 play to a 3rd and 3 play because you're off sides. That comes back to the coaching. Not saying that, again, I was praising Jonathan Gannon week 1 for what he did against the Falcons. But, I mean, when you go against these elite teams, this is your learning lesson. This is your learning lesson, and you're either going to step up or you're going to fall to the wayside. Speaking of that, I mean, this is both the worst game I've ever seen Jalen Hurts play and the worst game that I've seen Nick Sirianni coach. I mean, I love when Jalen goes back there and just rip it long. I don't think we saw enough of that from Carson Wentz towards the end of his career with the Eagles. I love seeing that, the aggressiveness, the poise. But that doesn't work when you're underthrowing your receivers by a mile and you're throwing an interception in the red zone. The Eagles were down 20-7 by the start of the second quarter, and Nick Sirianni completely abandons the run. Miles Sanders had 2 touches for 27 yards. Rookie stuff. So yeah, just keep in mind, everybody, this is a rebuild year. No, we don't need to start Gardner Minshew. That's not going to do anything. No, we don't need to fire Nick Sirianni. Not yet. Rebuild year. You can't expect that much out of this team. That was a tough matchup. I felt the electricity Monday night through the TV. That stadium was rocking. It was Dak Prescott's first game back home. You know, you had COVID last year. You couldn't have people in the stands. I felt it. I was like, this is going to be a long night, man. This is a tough crowd to play in front of. And The Eagles just were not ready for what was about to smack them in the face Monday night, and they folded. They folded good, man. All right, so what's next? What do we expect next? Because we got Kansas City next. Kansas City, and they just came off an ugly loss. Players like Patrick Mahomes, coaches like Andy Reid, they don't lose like that twice in a row. Yeah, so it's Patrick Mahomes, it's the Chiefs, but if the Eagles come out 5-6 penalties in the first quarter or first half, Jalen is running like a chicken with his head cut off, underthrowing his receivers. Nick Sirianni panics and becomes one-dimensional as a play caller. If all of those things happen against the Chiefs, then y'all ain't learned nothing. Y'all didn't grow. Y'all didn't go back and study the film and see what you did wrong and take from that and get better. Because that's what great coaches do. That's what great players do. I'm not expecting a win against Kansas City, but do keep this in mind. The Chiefs got a shitty defense, man. They are 30th overall in yards allowed. They're 31st in rush yards allowed. Hint, hint, use Miles Sanders. Throw Kenneth Gainwell in there. Let me see some Boston Scott, man. Come on, you got to be able to use Boston Scott. How have you not used Boston Scott yet? Anyway. And they're giving up, the Chiefs are, they're giving up 31 points a game, which is dead last in the league. So we saw what they were able to do against a defense like the Falcons. I want to see a competitive game. I think Mahomes is going to pull something, even if it's close, Mahomes is going to pull something out of his hat and do something spectacular that he almost did like 3 times against the Chargers last week. But I better not see a game like this anyway. Let me know your thoughts. Comment, subscribe, holla at you.